Magic players are an angry bunch. They get upset over a lot of things. But what is it that upsets Magic players the most? Well, ironically, it's RNG. Random number generation randomness. The probability of hitting your land drop or drawing that last removal spell you need. We all play this card game where variance is a big part of what we do, yet we all get frustrated with how much of a gamble it all is. For the longest time, cards that introduce more variance to the game were quite rare. I guess the best case scenario of a competitive card with a random element, besides just the idea of drawing cards in general and trying to draw lands, was maybe Delver of Secrets. Delver of Secrets says, if you have got a sorcery or instant on top of your library, so you get to randomly reveal at the beginning of the turn, then yeah, cool, it flips over. Of course, that random element is taken away a little bit by stacking your deck full of instants and sorceries, or playing cards like Ponder, Preordain, or of course Brainstorm to set up top of your library. So I guess Mind's Desire, or the activation cost of Urza, are more truly random in terms of RNG, where you shuffle your library, reveal the top card, and cast it. That's more akin to the stuff we see in Hearthstone. But fear not, travellers, if you're looking for more randomness, more things to complain about, more things to claim are rigged on an MTG Arena, then Adventures in the Forgotten Realms has got you covered. Treasure Chest was revealed late yesterday English time. It's a 3-mana artifact that has a 4-mana activation cost that sacrifices it, and then you get to roll a D20. Now, we haven't seen roll a dice, or especially roll a D20, a 20-sided die, outside of Silver Border before, so this is new to Black Border, but we knew it was coming, or we had it hinted at least by Mara's articles. On a roll of a 1, it's a critical fail as they call it in Dungeons & Dragons, it's trapped. You lose 3 life. I just want to stop and talk about this bit here. This trapped, people are joking that every card has got like weird keywords. The italics tell you it's not really a keyword, it's more flavor text. Traditionally, the flavor text of a Magic card is at the bottom of the card. Now they're putting them in the middle of abilities and triggers. Or I say in the middle, at the beginning of. This is actually in the middle of an activated ability. But yeah, it's flavor text added elsewhere on the card, and I quite frankly love it. I get people want to meme about it because that's what we do as a community, but I think it's great. On a roll of a 2 to 9, inside the treasure chest you find treasure, and you create 5 treasure tokens. You get a refund on your initial investment, +1. So that's not terrible. It's fine. It also gives you 5 artifacts in play, which can trigger artifacts into the battlefield triggers. Then you can sack these, you can duplicate them, you can doubling season them, they can power out more powerful effects like creatures that are power and toughness equal to artifacts. It does a lot of things here that's interesting. 10 to 19, you gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. Now, drawing a singular card, which is what I thought this was on first glance, would have been pretty okay. It would replace itself. Drawing 3 cards, that's wild. I'm into this. And then on a 20, on a critical success, on a nat 20, search your library for a card. If it's an artifact card, you may put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. So we're finally getting die rolls into Magic the Gathering, and some people don't like it and are moaning about it. I personally think it's awesome. I don't know if I'd like this if this was in every single set, but it's thematically so on point for Dungeons & Dragons. If you didn't know, that's played with usually a set of polyhedral dice. I think this is wonderfully flavourful and very fun. This card in itself, Treasure Chest, I'm in love with it. 3-mana artifact, it can be Sun Titaned, it can play into Teshar, it can play into Graveyard Recursion strategies because you can sack it over and over. It's got this random RNG elements, it can be really fun to resolve at a table. I love it. I actually love this card. This might be my favourite card previewed so far. It's so good. Although my preview comes this weekend. I can't say if I like it or not because that's against the rules, but you should definitely tune in on Saturday to see my preview. Now, the big hoo-ha, and I say big hoo-ha, it's a moderately small hoo-ha, even in the scale of Magic hoo-has, which are very common. People are always upset on Twitter or Reddit or somewhere. But the hoo-ha is spin down versus actual die. So the spin downs, as you can see here on the left, that you get in pre-release packs, or in the case of this, from one of the old From the Vault products, which, yeah, I'm an old man. I remember products that predate the Secret Layers. But this sort of thing is, it's sequential. So it's meant to be used as a spin down for your life total. So it goes 20 and then 19's on the next side and 18's on the next side to allow you to easily move up and down your life total, where actual dice is truly randomized and not having a sequence to the numbers. There's a couple of complaints about people rolling spin downs instead of D20s when activating this ability. The first of them is this lack of sequentiality on the normal dice to make it more random. But honestly, if you shake a D20 or a spin down in your hand and roll it across the table to allow it to like properly roll, you're gonna get a random number. So that really, it's bollocks. People who care about this are making a mountain out of a molehill. The next one that I had never really thought of before is how they are weighted. So supposedly real dice should be tested, and that the process is designed to not put too many glamorous additions to the dice. I didn't really understand any of this. I had to tweet about it and like read everyone's responses, and it was just a confusing mess. But essentially, normal die are designed to be perfectly weighted, or at least as close as they can be without obviously a lot of effort, where gambling dice at casinos are properly weighted. A spin down, supposedly, with some of the glamorous things they do to them, aren't designed to be that way and maybe weighted towards one side or the other. Honestly, this does sound again like a load of old fucking codswallop. Honestly, it sounds like complete fucking nonsense. There seems to be this thing where people get this kick out of saying, well, I'm going to be that guy at F&M who tells you to roll a proper D20. You reach into your bag and you reach past your open pack of Cheetos and your deodorant can and your pot of KY jelly, and you pull out a D20. You slam it on the table. You know you got to roll a real D20. But ironically, you probably didn't even cut your opponent's deck at the beginning of the round, because A, it's pre-release, who gives a fuck, and B, well, it's pre-release, who gives a fuck, but C, it's post-COVID, you don't want to touch other people's stuff if you can help it. It just makes me laugh, because people aren't keen at casual events to really even cut people's decks, in my experience. We just tap the top. They trust each other, but you won't trust someone to roll a random spin down that they got in their pre-release kit for that event? Fucking hell. Take your tinfoil hat and fuck off. More excitingly, Wizards have said that the pre-release kits for this, and I think the bundles too, will come with actual D20 as opposed to spin downs, where that means they've tested them more to appease the weight argument. Who fucking knows? And honestly, who really gives a shit? I guess there is a thing about at Comp REL. Comp REL means competitive rule enforcement level. If you didn't know, there is casual, comp, and then professional rule enforcement levels that are varied depending on the event you're at. So, no, Trevor, your F&M is not comp nor pro. That is as casual as it can be. But at Comp REL, at GPs, and other similar big events, if they ever happen again, the idea of Comp REL is to stop people from being able to cheat. So, for example, or make it clear and easy to understand the game set so a judge can fix things too. So you don't track your life with a spin down, you track your life in paper. And I just thought, I wonder if this will be a thing where you have to use actually correctly weighted dice that are sufficiently randomized. Probably not, for the reasons that I've mentioned. Because if you just shake the dice in your hand like this, and then roll them across the table, it's going to be very hard to drop it onto the correct number. The sequencing or non-sequencing thing doesn't actually fucking matter. I think this card is such a success. There were some cards in the set that I'm not so happy about. I moaned incessantly about the fucking Tarask yesterday, but this is wicked. This is the bundle promo or the buy box. I think it's the bundle promo. I could look that up right now. Oh no, it says bundle on the bottom of it. Let's pretend I looked it up like a professional content creator. So what do you think? Do you enjoy the roller D20 effect? I'm excited to see a few more of them. It doesn't seem broken. The card seems fucking sweet. What do you think? Does this piss you off? Does this make you irrationally angry? If so, then you are just a Magic player. Don't worry too much. But let me know in the comment section below. I've been Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. Hope you enjoy this dice talk, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ta for now.